Hello and welcome back. Today we have a viewer submission of the PX4 Storm F series. One of the cooler things about the PX4 Storm is that it utilizes a rotating barrel to mitigate recoil. This unique design feature has led to this handgun being in cameos in over 13 video games, 20 TV shows, and over 30 movies, including Live Free or Die Hard and John Wick 2. Let's go ahead and get to the rundown. They offered the PX4 Storm in 9mm, 40, and 45. Now, we have a full length of 7.5 inches and a height of 5.5 inches, and it weighs in at about 27.5 ounces. Another unique feature about the PX4 Storm is that, yeah, it has a safety, but it also has a decocker built into the safety, which also rotates the firing pin so that the hammer has no way of contacting it whenever you decock it. Also, it's ambidextrous, and it fully releases the trigger, so you don't have to worry about anything. The full-size model has a barrel length of 4 inches. The trigger pull is a crisp 4.5 pounds. The double-action trigger pull is a nice beefy 12 pounds. Now, the reset on it, it's not that bad either. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get it on the table and tear it down. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. First thing we want to do is make sure we're clear. Of course, no magazine, no rounds in the chamber. Drop that back down and decock it. And to take it down, all you really have to do is pull down the takedown lever, go fig, and push forward. Then you want to take out your central block along with your recoil spring. And then you rotate your barrel and pull it back. And you're field stripped. Go ahead and take a look at some stuff here. Have our slide. Whenever we actuate our safety dash decocker, you can see the firing pin right here, just rotating out of the way. It actually, it'll focus. Actually see that there's your firing pin and it rotates out of the way. That's kind of cool. And then you have this other lever here, this other cylinder here that whenever you rotate it, it hits your decocking hammer lever and it releases your hammer on it. While it also flips the switch that's right here that disengages your trigger. So we had mentioned one of the cool things about this firearm is that it has a rotating barrel. And I'm going to try and demonstrate that here. So you have your central block, which your recoil spring guides on there, and whenever you fire off a round, it rides inside of this groove right here to rotate that barrel to try and mitigate some of that recoil. And yeah, you'll notice that slide can actually move just a little bit before the barrel separates from the slide, and that's what makes it a locked breech. It kind of uses that small amount of time to get rid of some of the combustion chamber pressure. But that tiny little twist right there supposedly takes out a lot of the recoil. So let's go ahead and put it back together. Basically, you want to take your barrel and make sure that this portion right here is facing towards the slide. You want to drop that through and rotate it back clockwise. After that, you want to go ahead and take your recoil spring inside of your central block, and you want to thread that portion through the tip of the barrel, or tip of the slide, and lock that portion down onto the diagonal portion of the barrel. So you can kind of see there you go. Kind of interesting. So let's see how it functions. After that, you kind of just make sure everything's set in place and you're back together. Go ahead and make sure everything works. Decocker works. Alright, everything works. So they never really had an issue with the full-size version of the PX4. However, on the subcompact versions, they did have some issues with the recoil spring. Also, I know a couple of people who see this as a problem, but I don't expect every person that I encounter to be in a John Woo film. There's no steps between actually just like pulling that down and it pretty much being rendered useless. But I don't really know anybody who's got that kind of accuracy in actually doing that, so I don't see that as a problem. This one is the 40 Smith & Wesson version, which has two 14-in-1 magazines. The 9mm version has 17-in-1, and the 45 is 10-in-1. Now, honestly, this feels pretty good in the hands. I kind of have a good feeling about this, and I'm pretty anxious to get it out to a range. But first, if you're into fishing, go check out the Texas Best Wading Vest. Designed by an awesome angler and lake guide, it features 2 rod holders, a watertight tackle box with a carrying case, a comfortable, completely adjustable harness, complete with molly webbing to add accessories of your own. They have a huge sale going on until the end of April, so get them while they're hot. Link in the description. Alright, today we're doing the Beretta PX4 Storm. Have 2 14-round mags, going hot soon. 7 yards, going for the top left. Top right. A little better, going for the middle ring. get some jerking a little bit, but not bad if you take it slow. Taking it out to 5. We're also staggering loads between 165 and 180 grain.
You did better the first 2.
Gonna go ahead and run a drill. Do 3, 1, 3, 1. Doing the same thing, bottom right.
And he doesn't like to put a whole lot of bullets in there.
Like practice changing it.
More me than anything, but we're still staying center mass. So what have we taken away from this? Well, it's still a 40 and kicks like a hand cannon, but compared to other 40s, the mitigation is definitely noticeable. So that rotating barrel is actually doing something. Give it about an 8 out of 10. I'm actually pretty impressed. I'd like to get my hands on the 9mm version just to see the difference, because the 9mm actually boasts about the same accuracy at 50 yards that this one does at 25. So maybe that's another episode that we can visit later. As always, thank you for watching until the end of the episode. I look forward to seeing you next time. Please like and subscribe to help the channel.